Is it the fall season already? Hey, nice tackle. We will pick off all the very best highlights to show you. Talk about strange bounces. Look at this one. High fives from Kelly Scott as we chip this one towards the hole and celebrate. All that is Cardinal Athletics. Sports Night is next.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Sports Night, an early edition shot on Monday night, but a very exciting one and a lot of tournament stuff to talk about.
We were just so excited to do the show that we couldn't wait till Tuesday. We figured let's do it Monday and get everybody an extra day to watch the show.
Well, we had the baseball section playoffs happening earlier on Monday afternoon. The crew was all in town. Might as well get a little 2-for-1 action, and quite a ball game at Wintercrest on Monday afternoon. We'll get to that in just a bit. Talk about everything happening with the baseball team. They opened the section tournament Thursday afternoon. A must-win single-elimination first-round game against Irondale. The Knights were a lowly 11 seed, having won just 4 games all year. However, they finished the regular season with a win, and they had lost by just 1 run the only time they faced the Cardinals. Coon Rapids starts the scoring in the bottom of the first. Noah Koss rolls this one back up the middle. Second baseman placed perfectly to make the easy play, but Cody Thompson will score from third. The Cardinals have an early lead. Next batter is Matt Essler. He hammers this one into the ground. It high hops over the third baseman. Wojo will trot home with another run. Coon Rapids in front 2-0 after the first. Stays that way until the top of the fifth. Runners at second and third, nobody out. Jordan Brenny grounds out to the right side of the infield. Brian Schicker will come home to score, cut the lead in half 2-1. Next batter, Kyle Livingood, and he'll send a fly to relatively deep left. The runner tags up, and he's going to come home with what would be the tying run. The home plate umpire, watch for it, and you're out. Because he tagged up.
Can't leave early.
You can't leave early. Bottom of the fifth, runner at third for Noah Koss, and he puts this one right back through the box. Justin Reeves will score to make it 3-1, and that would be the final. Cardinals advance into the double elimination tournament with a 3-1 win over the Iredale Knights.
Yeah, you know, and again, an 11 seed coming in, and they should get that win, and it was pushed to the limit, but they did able to come with that 3-1 win to move to that next round. Because the highlights never end.
Well, that's the Koss shot that scored the third run. And there's the handshake.
And that's the end of the game.
But that was the end of the game. And Coon Rapids, I mean, they'd love to come in. They really, at the end of the regular season, were hitting the ball really well,
yes,
getting a lot of, putting a lot of runs up on the board. Not able to do so far in the section tournament. And that's a scary time to be living on limited runs.
Without a doubt, because you come in and you expect that part of your game. Maybe your pitching is, I'm not going to say shaky, but a little questionable at some points, and you're hitting the ball. Then you come into the section tournament, and all of a sudden you're not hitting the ball. That makes it difficult.
Well, they hit the ball in the second game of the tournament on Friday. They had 11 hits against Totino Grace, but they only scored 2 runs, and that didn't come until the top of the 9th inning when Mike Zimbeck hit the home run that gave the Cardinals the lead. Connor Boone, an excellent outing, scattered 9 hits, gave up just 1 run in 9 innings. 2 walks and 7 strikeouts, and that was kind of the thing, especially late in the season and early in the season as well. They're pitching not as strong as it has been in the past, but they're fielding not as sure either.
Right.
But fortunately for Coon Rapids, both pitching and defense playing outstanding thus far in the tournament.
Boone was strong from the mound. He had pitched an inning and a third the day before, so 10 and a third innings in the last couple of games. They definitely used his arm, and he did well.
Well, and that got them, again, coming in as a number 6 seed.
Yep.
That's not a huge upset. But to get that win in the first game of the double elimination rounds over the number 3 seed Totino Grace was definitely big.
Well, yeah, and Totino was, I believe Totino was a conference champion. So being able to knock them off in that fashion, it's a pretty good win.
Absolutely.
Well, Monday afternoon, Cardinals were back at Wintercrest trying to become one of the last 2 undefeated teams in the double elimination section tournament. In order to do that, they would have to upset the 2 seed Maple Grove Crimson. The Cardinals beat the Crimson 12-11 in their only meeting this season. This one would be just as close, but completely different. Maple Grove able to threaten each of the first 2 innings, but John Kutzke able to strand runners at second and third in both and keep the game scoreless. Crimson starter Charlie Horton was even more impressive. He didn't give up a hit until the 5th inning. He had 8 strikeouts, allowed a runner to third just once, and 9 shutout innings. Kutzke answered him pitch for pitch, though, and got even stronger late in the game. He retired 10 batters in a row from the 6th inning into the 9th and finished with 10 shutout innings. Horton couldn't win the game on the mound, but he comes up huge at the plate on bases at the bottom of the 11th, leads off the inning with a double. Then coming up after a sacrifice bunt, 2 intentional walks to fill the bases. The Crimson get aggressive. Suicide squeeze is on. Jordan Albers lays down the bunt. Horton hustles home with the winning run. Maple Grove survives 1-0 in 11 innings. It was a tough one for either team to lose, obviously, Joe, but both teams had their chances, and Maple Grove made it pay in the bottom of the 11th, and they're gonna move to that next undefeated round.
Yeah, and Mounds View and Maple Grove, the top 2 seeds in the tournament, the final 2 remaining in undefeated in the tournament. 4 teams remaining with 1 loss. Blaine will play Coon Rapids. That is 8 o'clock on Wednesday night over at CHS Field. The early game on Wednesday will be Centennial and Champlin Park. Champlin Park beating Totino Grace this afternoon 2-0 and ending the Eagles' run quickly in the tournament. They managed just 1 run in their 2 section tournament games. That's got to be a huge disappointment.
Without a doubt. And this will be the second matchup for the Cardinals and the Bengals. First one won by Coon Rapids 7-6, where both teams scored a lot of runs late. Cardinals scoring 5 runs in the bottom of the 7th to win that game by a score of 7-6. So it'll be an interesting outing, no doubt.
Well, and we will be there on Wednesday night, and it'll be exciting to see, who takes the mound and if they can get those hits going, because they only have managed 3 hits in the 11 innings they played this afternoon. Hats off to Horton. He threw incredibly well. Kutzke, maybe not quite as impressive because he didn't put up as many strikeouts. He wasn't quite as overpowering, but he got a lot of ground balls. And when he got into a little bit of trouble, you could not tell. He was calm, cool, collected. 10 shutout innings.
Very impressive.
Very impressive.
Very impressive.
And at the same time, you feel bad that you have an outing like that and you can't get a victory.
Well, you have to be able to score runs, and neither team obviously could score runs till the bottom of the 11th. So hopefully your pitcher pitches well, you play good defense in the field, and you can kind of manufacture a couple of runs, and that's what Maple Grove did.
Well, the softball team had just started the double elimination round of the tournament when we last had a Sportsnight program. Unfortunately, they exit quickly on Wednesday and Thursday, losing first to top seeded Maple Grove and then to number 5 seed Osseo 6-1. 14-1 they're outscored in those 2 games to end the season with a record of 10-13. In that tournament, the top 2 teams are still undefeated, and the 3 and 4 seeds are the last 2 teams left with just 1 win.
Always
so
interesting.
The seeding, or with 1 loss. So the seeding committee apparently did their job quite
They
well,
did, absolutely. Hats off.
For Section 5-3A softball. Tennis section tournament, no Cardinals able to advance to the quarterfinal rounds, which come up on Wednesday of this week. There's a look at how the Cardinals finished in the singles tournament. Alex Fish loses to Trong of Blaine 6-2, 6-2 in the first round. Bobby Yang was the number 7 seed, got a couple of nice victories over Champlin Park and Anoka, but then ran into the number 2 seed from Mounds View and lost 1-6, 1-6. Doubles team, similar story. Stephen Yang and Drew Grimmer lose in the first round to Champlin Park. Bauer and Sky team up, and they get a couple of wins, including a minor upset over the 7th seeded team from Totino Grace, but then they also run into a number 2 seed for Mounds View, Jones and Alex, and their run with a 6-2, 6-0 victory or loss. The tennis season is over. And again, this is a team that was very young at the start. They do have a fair amount of experience, but there were certainly some growing pains, and it's a program that really looks like it is building towards very good things in the next couple of seasons.
Yeah, that program's certainly in good hands, and they will continue to get better.
Track and field teams will compete in the Section 5 AA championships Wednesday and Friday of this week over at Hamlin University. Last week, it was the Northwest Suburban Conference Championships, with the finals being held at the Cardinal Sports Complex on Thursday. It was the last chance for a tune-up before sections. At a point in the season, you want to be putting up your best time. Several of the girls made their way to the podium for Coon Rapids. No surprise to find Callie Harris there. Sophomore finished second in both 100 and 300 hurdles. She finishes the 100 in 15.99 seconds. Freshman phenom Brielle Clark with a great race in the 100-meter dash. Stretch at the line will get her second place by just 4/100ths of a second. Coon Rapids had 3 other podium finishes at the conference championships and a handful more that finished in the top 5. That includes the 4x200-meter relay team that turned in a 1-minute 47.98 second finish at conference. As a team, the Cardinals finished 5th in the Northwest Suburban. And high fives all around. Sunglasses were out. It was a beautiful day.
It was a beautiful day. Yes, it was.
For that event. Girls, as I mentioned, finished in 5th place, 62.5 points. Callie Harris's second place finish in the 300-meter hurdles was just 0.15 seconds off of the previous meet record. However, the freshman from Irondale, who beat her in both the 100 and 300, beat that time by about a second and a half.
Incredible.
And just a freshman. And so that'll be an interesting battle between that young lady from Irondale and Callie Harris the next couple of seasons. Allie Stahlberger was second place in the 200-meter dash. Brielle Clark picked up third place finish in the high jump. Angela Barron, a fourth place finish in pole vault, going up and over at 9 foot. Caitlin Ackerman was fifth place in the long jump, and there you see it 4x1 and 4x8, also finishing with fifth place finishes. For the boys, 14th place, just 2 points scored. Their only scorer came from Austin Palmer in the pole vault, finishing in 7th place with a 12-foot clearance. Blake Weber made the top 10 with a 9th place finish in the shot put, 45 feet 4 inches. The 4x1 was 10th, as was the 4x8. Kyle Mehrhoff was 16th in the 2-mile run with a time of 10:29.
Well, you know, a pretty good outing from the girls, finishing 5th, and quite obviously, and the boys obviously has to be disappointed just the 2 points scored in the meet.
Yeah, and it's a team that had dramatically low numbers as we started the season, but a lot of youth. But their talent seems to be kind of focused in that sprint group, and they're not able to get a lot of points from other parts of the field. Evidently, the other parts of the conference doing exceptionally well in those very same events, keeping the Cardinals off the board. 5 AA championships are Wednesday and Friday of this week. The state championships are next Friday and Saturday. Boys golf team also competing in the Northwest Suburban Conference Championships last week. They finished in 13th place with a team score of 360. Travis Hess led the way with an 86. Michael Elson just a stroke behind him. Howells finishes with an even 90 on the scorecard, 45 on each half. Nash finished with a 97, as did Novinska, and breaks triple digits with a 99. They will have the 5 AAA championships Wednesday and Thursday of this week. That's over at Bunker Hills. State tournament will be at Bunker Hills as well. That is on the 9th and 10th of June.
Well, the girls golf team will be playing their section tournament Tuesday and Thursday at Norfolk. Last week, their final trip around the gem of Coon Rapids this season, with the Northwest Suburban Championships at Bunker Hills on Friday. A couple of girls shot their personal best, but overall not a great day for the Cardinals. Tina McManus has been a team leader for the Cardinals all season long, but she struggled a little bit last Friday. She hits this mid-range putt on her way to a 111. Megan Lund, one of the girls who brought her best round to the course coming up here in the sections, gets off a nice shot. She's going to come up here, hits a short putt as part of a personal best at 107. Sarah McDonald, another Cardinal saving her best for tournament time. McDonald finished with an even 100, which was also a team low. Lexi Herman, she's up next. A little tapper right here. She chalked up a 112 for the day. We're going to take a look at team captain Tara Peterson, struggling through some pain from an elbow injury on Friday. Her score would show it. She put up a season high 119. She taps that one in. And then Morgan Buckley was the 6th Cardinal to compete at conference. Great shot out of the bunker right here. She put up a 115 on her scorecard for the day. Cardinals finished 14th with a team score of 430. She drops that putt.
Yeah, now they go to North Fork and have to hope that they can find a couple of girls, a couple more girls to put their best together at the right time. Nobody qualifying for all conference, but this is a team that at the beginning of the season they had almost zero experience. They had one girl that had a significant amount of varsity experience, and Coach Keeney said, I have a lot of seniors that want to play the game. They're falling in love with the game, and that in itself is what they will strive for this season.
And it's such a tough game. I mean, when you don't have a lot of experience and you're playing at this level, it's difficult day in and day out to try and continue to get better because it's frustrating.
Yeah, the 5 AAA section tournament will take place at North Fork Tuesday and Thursday of this week against state championships back at Bunker on the 9th and 10th of June. Boys lacrosse team will open the section tournament facing the same team that ended their regular season schedule. The Blank Bengals are a top 20 team in Minnesota and came in with just 2 losses this season to 13th ranked Maple Grove and number 10 Champlain Park. They were looking to finish the season strong and carry momentum into the playoffs. Bengals get control of this one early and never let up. Scrambled for the ball in the Coon Rapids end. John Hickey comes up with it, takes it right to the net for the goal. He had 2 goals, 7 assists against the Cardinals. Here Hickey nets another one. Blaine bringing the pressure. Brandon Christensen's shot trickles wide. Scooped up, played to Hickey on the doorstep. Right place, right time. 11-0 Bengals at the half. They pick up where they left off in the second. Brian Bruce circling up top, lobs it toward the net. Peyton Graff deflects it to the back of the net, and it's Blaine by a dozen. Cardinals finally show a little life on the offensive end after that. Josiah Taylor with a fire this shot low and get Coon Rapids on the board. That sparks a little bit of a rally. Next possession. Miguel Ganoza with it up top. Shoots hard, skips it past the keeper, makes it 12-2. Little wind beneath their wings, and the Cardinals continue to fly at the Bengals net. This time it's Nick Gervais beating the keeper. It's 12-3, but that's as close as it would get. Blaine holds on for the relatively easy 14-4 win. And that shows what the Cardinals have coming up for them. Champlain Park, the number 1 seed, gets the bye. Centennial takes on Spring Lake Park in the first round, and Andover gets Forest Lake. And the Cardinals, the Bengals have been an established program for a number of years and continue to rebuild and be in that group of elite teams toward the top of the rankings in Minnesota. And for the Cardinals to fall behind 11-0 in the first half, it's hard to dig back out of that. And now you have to turn around and face them exactly a week later with the season on the line.
Well, the positive thing is that they were able to score some goals in that second half. So hopefully you take a little bit of that into that game, but they're going to have their work cut out for them. You see the intensity Blaine played with in that final regular season game. Well, probably double that in the section game as well.
I am sure, and the Cardinals will need to do something a little bit earlier in the contest to try and find that offensive pressure, try and keep from falling that far behind.
Well, the girls are playing.
They are.
And they're playing well.
They are.
The Cardinals had already clinched the girls' team anyway, the Northwest Suburban Championship, when they took the field against Blaine last Wednesday. But they were shooting for a first in school history. No Coon Rapids team has ever finished the regular season with a perfect record in conference play. If the Cardinals could beat the Bengals, they would accomplish that feat, but it wouldn't be easy. The Bengals had never beaten the Cardinals, and they came in looking to end that streak and play spoiler to the Cardinals' record at the same time. Blaine brings the pressure from the opening faceoff. Peyton Moore's wraparound opened the scoring for the Bengals. Added another 15 seconds later, and now they take a 2-0 lead. Cardinals' high-powered offense struggled against a hot goaltender in this one. Miss quick, great feed to Bailey Ryan, but Sarah Gainley comes up big to save a point blank to keep her team in front. Coon Rapids finally scored 16 minutes into the game, and a great play at the end of the half. Bailey Ryan finding Lily Hackett at the back door. Still, it's Blaine up 3-2 at the break. Cardinal leaders starting to shine a little brighter in the second half. Allie Erickson scored a pair of goals just 36 seconds apart to give Coon Rapids a lead at 4-3. The Bengals scored the next 3 before Lily Hackett made this beautiful spinning move to the front of the net. Hackett's second of the game made it 6-5 Blaine. Cardinals take a momentum and run with it from there. Allie Misquick showing off her speed as she gets around the corner. great pass to the front where Bailey Ryan has the quick finish. Game tied with 6:08 to play. Nice goal right there. 2 minutes later, Allie Erickson got her third goal, the game winner. Cardinals add one more after that, and they win big, 8-6. And you know, I think coming in, they were a little concerned because did they want that 10-0 perfect conference record? Yeah, absolutely they did. And Blaine really did a nice job of taking it to them and keeping that game close.
Well, the Cardinals did earn the #1 seed in the section. They will host Andover on Wednesday. Osseo Park Center in Forest Lake. Champlin Park, the #2 seed, will get Spring Lake Park, and Blaine will take on Centennial in the Battle of 4-5.
Yeah, it's certainly the conference. The section is Coon Rapids to lose. Quite obviously, they've been ping well, and it'll be interesting to see how.
I don't know that I go quite that far. Champlin Park and Coon Rapids have had such a great rivalry,
yep.
And it has come down to the section championship for the last 3 or 4 seasons. Champlin Park has had their number come tournament time. Cardinals get the win in the regular season. They win the conference title undefeated in conference play, but you know that will factor into the mindset of several of the players on each squad if it should work out that those two meet again in the championship.
You're the #1 seed. It's your section to lose.
Okay, I will absolutely agree with that. And you know, just the way it works out, because the girls lacrosse bracket and the baseball bracket are matched up, so every game seems to match up. I don't know that we'll have an opportunity to see the girls lacrosse team, but I certainly hope so.
I hope so as well.
And I believe that this is a team that may finally have what it takes to get the Cardinals past that game and get to their first state tournament.
Yeah, they've played well, and they've done exactly what they've needed to do to win this season. And are they the most high-scoring team that Jeff DeJoy has coached? Probably not. But they're the first team in school history to go undefeated in the conference play. They're a really good squad. They're going to be a lot of fun.
I don't know that they're the highest scoring team or the best defensive team that they have had in the past year at Coon Rapids, but I would have to say it's one of the deepest scoring teams that we have seen in the program's history, because they have so many weapons and so many girls who are putting up great numbers.
That's been the impressive thing with this team. It's not just 2 or 3 players that are doing the bulk of the scoring. It is well-rounded, and there's a number of players that are contributing, and that's a good formula. That's a winning formula.
Well, the longer they go, the longer Sports Night goes, but that's going to do it for this edition of Sports Night. We'll have more tournament action for you next week. I want to thank everybody out there for joining us and continuing to support everything we do here at CTN. For the entire crew, including Howie Shapiro, I'm Joe Young. Say goodnight.